guys. Hope you're doing well today. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures and Fred and Sheila Investigates. And this is part two.
Part two, guys. We're going to pick up right where we left off at.
Yeah.
And that was reading that insert that it said March the 21st, 2024, a consent to search at John Curtis Sloan Jr.'s property yields 2 boxes of TBI related materials, 5 unfired 30 caliber rounds, a copy of a TBI case file. Sheila found that interesting. I do too.
Yeah. Plus the photo of Buford signed to the Sloans.
Plus a signed photo of Buford to the Sloans, the family.
The family, yeah.
Let's go back, guys. A copy of a TBI case file. What was that case file? Was that case file? What's his name? Nix. Was that Towhead White? Was that Louise Hathcock? Was that Jack Hathcock? Was that who was that?
W.O. or whatever his name is.
W.O. Hathcock. Was this a bad? Was this a bad TBI agent? We don't know.
Right.
We still haven't. We're still on the same video. We just went on to another day. But when we get off here, you can guarantee we are going to do some research on this John Curtis Sloan Jr.
Definitely.
Why would he have a TBI case file?
Yeah.
Why would he have 2 boxes of TBI related material? What is that material? What does that mean, material? Shouldn't that be in this file? See, we're going to get to exculpatory evidence here in a minute, but shouldn't that be? And it very well might be. I hope it is. I hope Ravonda, and I'm sure she will.
Oh, yeah.
And other attorneys. There's some more joining in. They're coming out of the woodwork. But shouldn't that be listed here? 2 boxes of TBI material. Just throw all that in here, guys, together. We'll just label that as 2 boxes. Don't say what that is. Don't mention it. We ain't going to mention that in our report. Just say 2 boxes. We're curious. Inquiry minds want to know. Tennessee residents want to know, Mr. Roush. Since we're so efficient, since we're so out there to enforce the law and do the right thing, then this is something people need to know. You said you've got voluminous, Mr. Davison, voluminous files, voluminous information. We need to know what those 2 boxes of related TBI material is. And we didn't know what that TBI case file is. What does that concern? Is the TBI, should there be some questions? Should there be an investigation within the TBI? Should the governor appoint a new commissioner, a new director, and say, clean it up from the top down? Should the FBI come in and say, hey, what's going on here, guys? What's going on here? What are these files? What have y'all raises curiosity?
Get them, yeah.
Maybe evidence tech, maybe expert witnesses at one time. Who is this? Who is this guy? This may be an evidence tech. This may be somebody involved in the 1967 shooting, ambush. Anyone out there recognize that name? Comment.
He could be the one that controls the evidence storage facility or whatever.
Why didn't they find all the empty cases? Why didn't they find the blood splatter? Why didn't they find her clothes? Why didn't they find her shoes?
That's still to be answered.
Yeah. If that's true, but it could be.
Right.
You're exactly
right. That might
right.
be how he got these cases.
This is how
because he's worked at the storage locker thing where they store the evidence locker, whatever it's called.
This is how we do. We bounce off each other. Does it mean anything, or is it just a paper filler? We used to think it was a paper filler. This is not a paper filler. This is very important. This is very important evidence. This is knowledge that needs to be known, needs to be put out there to everybody, so we don't think the TBI is any more crookeder than what we already do with Mr. Roush in charge. We need to know what this is. This needs to be made public. If it's not, now in this voluminous file, they may very well come out. Maybe she didn't get a chance to see that yet.
Right.
We're hoping it's
Right.
in there. Yeah.
It could be. I mean, because it sounds like it's spider webbed out. The whole file is.
So far, we know if you have ever had a fractured nose, you are no doubt a victim of domestic violence. We know that. If you live in Tennessee and you've ever had a fractured nose, you better sign an affidavit, because if you ever die or something happens to you, more than likely your spouse is going to be looked at. If they go by the precedents that was set by Mr. Davison and Mr. Rouse, that's the new precedents. You just have to have a broke nose and you're automatically going to be accused or assumed to be
An abuser.
an abuser. Domestic violence. If you have a photo of Buford, well, use your imagination until we find out more on this person. John Curtis Sloan Jr.
Mm.
Bottom line, the rifle exists and was tested, but on these pages, there's no published match to the 1967 shooting. That is from
So they
Ravonda.
did test.
Ravonda says, bottom line, the rifle exists and was tested, but on these pages, there's no published match to the 1967 shooting. You're not going to have a match to the 1967 shooting, guys. Now, with what Ricky Plunk said,
Plunk.
that his dad said the gun was stolen, it was one of the stolen guns from O'Neill Moffett, and with him thinking that it's got something to do with the ambush, we do too. Now we're starting to believe that it does. The sad thing is, there's nothing to match it to. The 1967 empty casings are gone. Now, we know that Buford didn't have it. We know that Buford didn't kill his wife, because he could have killed her at home or gave her an overdose. He could have run the car off into the lake. He could have so many different things without going through this nonsense and blowing your head half off. We know that. But published no match. Well, no, they don't have no matches because they've lost the evidence. They don't have a car. They don't have blood. They don't have casings. They don't have bullets.
Huh.
But we're starting to feel
Yeah.
that gun is probably used in the ambush. But it was probably used, at least, if I was on this case, I would be investigating PD Plunk right now. That's who I would be looking at. There's some other ones, but PD Plunk has now joined the list of who we would want to talk to about the 1967 ambush.
Yeah. Sad to say it, but yeah.
Autopsy. The casings, the bullets didn't compare to the autopsy. Why not, guys? Only thing they want to talk about this, they dug a woman up out of her grave, rest,
Disturbed her, yeah.
so they could tell you that she's got a fractured nose at one time in her life. If that's true, hairline fracture, or was it sitting on the side of her head? Sitting on the side of her head, I believe that's probably domestic or something. Was it just enough of a fracture or a split to say, yeah, we can put this in the report. We'll call this domestic. There's no bullets there. You can't compare that gun to the bullets because the bullets went through her head. They went through and out. 1967 evidence? Nope. No rounds, no casings. Maybe give to an expert. They may try to figure something out with it. Oh, yeah, we got a match. That's where your experts come in. Hey, look at this picture here. What bullet do you think that is on the side of that? Now, see, we see two bullets. Me and Sheila's not smart. We see two different size bullets
Exactly.
in that car. What we think is, could it also be the same caliber bullet, but one of the rounds was tumbling and it made a wider hole than the other one? Could be anything. We're not ballistics experts,
Right.
but we certainly can't tell it from a photo. Neither can experts.
There's no way you could match it
You
up.
need
There's
evidence.
yeah.
You need something to compare the photos with. You need some measuring. Medical evidence. Whoa. Guys, here's your medical evidence. Two medical voices appear on these pages. Ravonda says Dr. Harry Pillar, the county medical examiner from 1967, and Dr. Michael Reveal, a TBI medical consultant, 2023, 2024. Medical consultant, expert witness, paid witness. You examine this. I'm not saying nothing wrong. I'm not saying nothing was done illegal,
Right, right.
unethical. I guess that's who you talk to. That's why we need these other experts now to look at the same thing they looked at, and let's see what we get. Because you don't just take one person's opine. You don't just take one person's opinion and say, "Oh, he's a friggin' genius. He knows it. That's Aristotle." No, I don't buy that. I don't know how old this fella is, but he's not as old as Dr. Pillar. And those pictures that we see of Dr. Pillar when this happened. Let's just start out. We got so much on this case. Do we believe a doctor from 58 years ago? Or do we believe a doctor from 2024, guys? Do we believe a doctor that was there?
Mm.
Pitch in anytime, babe. I know
Yeah.
you're not saying nothing bad. You're just giving your analogy. So if something comes, don't you, Sheila don't like to talk bad about nobody, but this is not, leave that to me. But it's okay to have questions.
Yeah.
Do we believe a doctor that was there? Or do we believe a doctor that looked at a photograph 58 years later?
The doctor that was there during that time would have more physical evidence. He would be able to see exactly what was going on.
Dr. Pillar is probably twice in that picture the age of the picture I saw of Dr. Reveal. Probably twice as old. What comes with age, guys? Experience, knowledge. Finally, when we learn everything we need to learn in life, we die. But do we believe a doctor who saw the body? Or do we believe a doctor who saw a picture? Guys, it don't get no plainer. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to insult your intelligence. I'm trying to show you what these defense attorneys, any good civil attorney, any good lawsuit attorney, do we believe a doctor who was working? Do we believe a doctor that's a medical examiner, that's his job? Go out and pick up dead bodies, take them in, look at them, just determine the cause of death, the manner of death. That's his job. That's what he does. Or do we believe somebody that gets paid? I'm still not saying there's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying expert witnesses don't do this for their health. Expert witnesses don't go to school to get the knowledge, to get the experience. Let's give it to them. I'll throw some pluses out there. I'll throw them a good comment. They don't do that so they can go out here for free and say, "Yeah, I've had all this training and experience, and I'll give you an opinion on that for free." Well, you might on Buford Pusser case, because that's definitely going to be history making. These four guys, Corey, Jason, Eric, and Michael, reveal those four people made history, right along with Davison and Roush, right along with Elam and Baldwin.
And Plunk.
And now Plunk family, because they've involved Ricky, Elam involved Lavonna or something. We're going to get to her in a minute. Plunk's mother, Ricky Plunk's mother, Petey Plunk's wife at one time.
I think was her name.
Lavon, thank you, baby. We believe somebody getting paid as an expert. You know, what's his ad say? What's Dr. Reveal's ad say on one of our videos? It's on our video. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not satisfied with our results, we'll give you money. We'll refund you.
Yep.
We'll give your money back. I wonder if they asked for their money back. I wonder if the TBI, when he gave them this opinion and he said, "Now, Dr. Pillar, even though he was there and he looked at her and he examined her, I'm looking at this picture here and I think she was killed outside the car and moved in." Well, we don't believe that. We want our money back. I wonder if they got their money back, or were they satisfied with that assumption, with that opinion, with that opine? Do we believe the doctor who opines, or do we believe the doctor who has the opinion, or do we believe the doctor who was there that day as a medical examiner? He's a physician
On. He
and a
was
medical examiner that responded to the scene. Guys, you ever seen anybody have a real bad car accident? Especially, well, they got Kennedy's car, they got all these vehicles out there in museums in St. Augustine and different places, Gatlinburg.
Mhm.
People that's being killed in cars. People pay to go see them. And if there's blood still on the seat or something, oh, that's even they'll pay extra to see that. But do you think that maybe you're going to hear here in a minute where he talks about the interior of the car? He's comparing, Dr. Reveal is the expert, comparing the interior of the car with the picture. Guess who went and saw the interior of that car? Do you think that Dr. Repeal, not Repeal, but Dr. Pillar, the medical examiner, was not curious?
Mhm.
Do you think he didn't go look along with hundreds of others, probably thousands in Adamsville? He didn't look at that car to see the bullet holes, to see the inside, to see her brains scattered everywhere? Do you think the medical examiner of that county, as inquisitive as people are as public servants and people want to know, so when he goes to the drugstore, he goes into the restaurant, somebody says, "Hey, doc, what about Pauline? It was bad." But you try to keep your cards close to your chest. Cops, foreigners, people want to be in the know. I know something, you can't know it unless you're a friend. I'll tell you what, she was a mess. Her whole head was blowed off.
Oh,
Dr. Pillar went and looked at that car, guys. He didn't have to look at a picture. Dr. Pillar, 1967, he was the ME. Note, first shot was glazed. The
great.
left's grazed off the left side of Pauline's skull. We know she's got a massive wound to the left side of her skull. Second shot near the left eye. We know her left globe, her left eye was gone, producing a U-shaped fracture exiting, exiting the brain, base of the brain. No autopsy was performed on Pauline. Only Pillar's report and notes exist. Now, this is Ravonda. No autopsy was performed on Pauline. Only Pillar's reports and notes exist. Well, that's all you need.
Yeah.
She's been in a shootout. She's been shot. She's 33 years old. Her brains is blowed out, and she's been killed by a firearm, by a gun, a bullet, or bullets. The report notes autopsies were being conducted around that era, e.g., Louise Hathcock, 1966. Where'd they get that from? There are people being autopsied. There are people that's been autopsied in that area because we know that because just months before, Buford Pusser had shot Louise Hathcock. Louise Hathcock was a bad woman. She was killed in 1966, and they did an autopsy on her. Now, Mike Elam makes a big deal out of that because he said these bullets were from the back, these bullets. But if you look at the autopsies, he's incorrect. He wants you to believe certain things, and he points your direction. We're not into that. See, we don't have time to do this case and do her other videos that she wants to do.
Yeah.
But you could prove Mike Elam wrong on any. Mike Elam speaks it from the mouth, sort of like TBI director and the prosecutor does, because they thought nobody would ever question this case. They would say it, everybody would buy it, it would make history and go on. This case is not going away. This case is going to be bigger than OJ. This case is going to be bigger than any case that's probably ever been out there. This case is going to be around for years and years and years to come. Not through us, but through other people that we've been contacted by. The people that's got more of an interest probably than we do before it's over with. And I believe that one day we'll get to see depositions and we'll get to see sworn testimony in court under oath from Roush, Davison, Elam,
Plunk.
Plunk, the other book writer, Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to get to see that by the expert witnesses for sure. No doubt. No doubt. Hopefully they paid them real good, or hopefully they got it in their contract that they signed with TBI that if they are called to court, because see, nobody thought this case would ever go to court. Buford's dead. It's no big deal. We'll just declare him a murderer and then we'll go on. It's all over with. I hope they got it in their contract that if they have to go to court, that the state of Tennessee has to pay them for their days on the stand, because I have a feeling they're probably going to get some court time at some time in life over this case. Louise Hathcock is something that came from Mike Elam. That's out of his book. We've said that you could probably read Mike Elam's book or watch his videos and probably see a lot of what's in that case file, that voluminous case file that they have. What's that have to do with the 1967 case? What's Louise Hathcock's autopsy got to do with a 1967 case of Pauline Pusser? Buford Pusser may have asked for an autopsy. Buford Pusser may have said, guys, I don't want no questions. I want you to clear this up. So they'll, otherwise, there's always going to be questions. Please autopsy her for me, so it will be clear as to what happened. We don't know. We wasn't there. There's no record of it. You can talk anything you want to in the history at this point.
Yeah.
You can say anything we want. Maybe Dennis Hathcock showed up and said, that's my aunt and I'd like to have her autopsy, because he showed up at the shooting scene, at the ambush scene, and found casings on the road. He found half of Pauline's head. Maybe Dennis was all over the place. He was chasing Buford around that night, very night that something happened.
Interesting.
Maybe he wanted the autopsy on Louise. I don't know. I'm speculating, but anything's possible with this case.
Ooh.
That's right out of Mike's book. That was Dennis's aunt, who was killed months before Pauline. I'm sure there's no hard feelings there.
Retaliation.
I'm sure there's no reason for revenge or retaliation. Of course not. Dr. Reveal, 23 and 24. He was contracted to the TBI in 23 and 24 as an expert witness, expert opinion, because that's what he gives. Mr. Davison says Dr. Reveal opines that he shot himself in the face. Dr. Reveal opines that she was shot outside the car and moved in. Dr. Reveal opines that the interior gives his opinion, guys, which faked me out because I didn't know what opines meant. Call me an idiot.
But the way he was saying it,
he joined it right in.
Between the last name
I thought that was the last name.
And opines.
Dr. Reveal opines. Dr. reveals his last name, and he opines. I thought Dr. Reveal opines.
I thought that was his whole name.
I did too, babe.
So
we're both stupid.
Oh well, it's all good. No worries.
Okay, maybe before we're stupid at, we'll make up with common sense. Reviewed Peeler's notes, post-mortem photos of Pauline, interior vehicle photos, statement of Buford and Chief Deputy Jim Moffitt. Now, this case says that Dr. Michael Reveal reviewed Dr. Peeler, the coroner, back in 1967. He reviewed his notes and post-mortem photographs of Pauline. It's going to get interesting here in a minute. You guys are going to like something coming up. And it says that he reviewed the interior vehicle photographs. Where's the car? Why didn't you look at the car? Not photographs, but we got interesting on that one too. He reviewed the statement of Buford and Chief Moffitt. I don't know Moffitt. He reviewed the statement of Buford Pusser. Where's it at, guys? Where is Buford Pusser's statement? Where is Buford Pusser's signed, sealed, and delivered statement? Dated, witnessed. Where is it? Has anybody ever seen it? Oh, I know. You've seen the couple pages that go around on blank sheet of paper, no letterhead, no department, TBI, Highway Patrol, McNairy County Sheriff's Office. Who took this statement? Who who witnessed this statement? Who is responsible for this third party? Who is the third party that says Buford said he went here? Buford said he done this.
Or
Buford
he
said,
said da 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 da. It didn't. So
yeah,
I mean,
or he said pertaining to Buford.
mm-hmm.
He said this, he said that. Guys, there's no signature. There's no signature of the person that transcribed that report. There's no signature of the person who reviewed it, who witnessed it. There's no letterhead. There's no department.
Nope.
You've got a bunch of words typed out on a couple of sheets of paper, and they say that is Buford Pusser's statement. We know that Buford Pusser didn't get along with the TBI. We may know it even more by the time we find out who this Sloan guy Jr. was.
Yeah.
We may know even more.
Yeah.
But we know they didn't get along with Buford Pusser back then. Highway Patrol didn't get along with. Who wrote this statement up that and says, "Oh, here's Buford's statement right here." Guys, how would you like somebody do you like that? How would you like for you to be dead, or your dad to be dead, or somebody to be dead, and somebody comes out and says, here's your will. Your dad gave it to me to keep all these years, and everything goes to me. This is his will. Would you buy it? Or would you say, where's dad's signature?
Mm,
Who witnessed this? Where's the letterhead? What law firm wrote this will up? Would you, if somebody was taking your inheritance, would you buy that? If somebody just showed you a statement and wrote out a thing and said, your dad left everything, he left everything to me. There it is. Would
no
you accept
dates,
that?
time.
Would you accept that?
Hmm.
I don't believe you would, and I don't believe a jury's going to. I don't believe a jury of 12 people, when there's a civil suit or suits filed in this case, and depositions are taken, and people's put on the stand, I believe you're going to see some people look like the. I feel you. And you're right. I'm sorry. I told you this case has made me backslide. I ain't lost my religion. I'll never lose my love for God and my faith, but I'm sure not acting Christian like, because the more I see of how these people done, again, someday I'm going to tell you a story. Someday I'm going to make a story and make a video, and you'll understand a whole lot better.
Exactly. Yep.
Expert opinion. But he looked at the photo. Dr. Ravel probably didn't stay at a Holiday Inn, but he looked at those photos. And he looked at photos of the interior of the car. He looked at photos of Pauline Pusser's body, postmortem. He looked at her postmortem
Oh,
photographs.
sorry.
What happened, guys? Did the TBI run out of money? Did the TBI not want to spend that extra $2,500 and say, hey, Doc, if you would run down here to Nashville, run down here to Memphis, run down here to Selmer. I don't know where they done the autopsy at. Where'd they do that autopsy at? Hey, Doc, you're right here at the Jackson Hospital. Could you run down here and sit in on this autopsy? We'll pay you. Keep your time card running. We need you to, so you can give us your opine. So we can say he opines that the autopsy was done correctly. He opines that what he saw in the autopsy was correct. He opines that when he did the autopsy or helped or assisted or observed, he saw a broke nose also. Guess what Dr. Ravel did, guys? He looked at photographs of Pauline's body. Now,
Mhm.
it was important enough to dig her up out of the ground, disturb her and her husband. That was important enough. But it's not important enough to send this expert, who they say is also a medical examiner. It's not important enough to send him down there and let him, instead of looking at photographs, watch this autopsy, watch this body being autopsied, so we don't have to dig her up and do it again. So they would be two professionals there instead of just one. Not important enough to.
Good points.
I think it is, babe. I think,
Good
well, we got
points.
this. We talked about this. I'm reading our notes,
Mhm.
and it is a good point.
I mean, it really is. So,
What did he gather from the autopsy? What did he gather from the autopsy? Absolutely zit. Zilt. Nothing. He wasn't at the autopsy. Dr. Reveal didn't attend the autopsy. Oh, that's right. He didn't attend the autopsy. I'm being facetious. I am. I've got that.
That's all right.
I knew I was going
They
to say
knew.
that, and I went ahead and wrote, I'm being facetious, and I'm sorry. I do apologize for it, but I knew I was going to be facetious. I knew I was going to say that. It's too obvious not to say. He looked at some photographs, guys. Guys, how many of you out there would like to have your character assassinated like Buford Pusser has been done?
Nope.
How would you like for somebody to look at a photograph and say, yep, wasn't important enough to keep the evidence, the shells, the car, the dress, the clothes, the shoes, the blood samples.
Wow.
Wasn't enough to keep all that stuff from 1967. If it's important enough to open a case 58 years later, I'm going to tell you what will never be done again. I will tell you what Dr. Reveal, I'll tell you what Mr. Davison, I'll tell you what Mr. Roush has done.
What'd they do?
They didn't only set a precedence for rumors and things like that to go on and destroy people's reputations, but they've also set a precedence that you will not see a prosecutor in history ever do this again without the proper evidence. You'll not see a TBI, FBI, CIA, you'll not see nobody ever pull a stunt like this with a microphone. Everybody see my name? You won't see that ever again, where somebody destroys somebody's character and not have the evidence to back it up, thinking that nothing's going to come from it. Do I look good? Do I look distinguished? Do I sound good? Now, this file's voluminous. He opines. I've heard all kinds of words. I didn't even know the meaning to voluminous. I had to look that up. Huge, huge, a lot of. He's got a lot of papers, a lot of files. Wow. Me, old country boy Fred, old hillbilly, he just say,
Good.
boy, he's got a whole lot of papers there in that report, don't he? Wasn't important enough to keep the evidence and shells, Carl. But hey, let's look at a couple of photos and defame this man while also making us famous forevermore.
That's sad.
Wow. This is a case of identity theft, guys. This is the newest case and newest form of identity theft you've ever seen, because they have taken Buford Pusser, not just the two on stage, but these so-called experts, so-called experts that's already in Mike Elam's book and in this file. They stole Buford Pusser's glory and his fame and his reputation, and they gave it to themselves. They have replaced Buford Pusser's name with their own.
Sad.
They have stolen Buford Pusser's fame, his name, his glory forevermore. Reasoning highlights. Cranial trauma seen in photos does not match the interior vehicle. This is notes from Dr. Reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Reveal tells in his report that the cranial trauma, the head wounds, her head's blown off. He wasn't at the autopsy. He don't even know what her head looked like other than looking at some photos. But he says that the cranial trauma seen in the photos does not match the interior vehicle photos. He's going to get a chance to explain that. I honestly believe that he will get the chance to explain that, and Sheila and I will be there. We'll be in the courtroom. We're going to be listening to this. Him and all these expert witnesses, along with Roush and Davison, will get a chance to explain, because we don't understand that comment. We're just lay people. We don't understand a lot of things. But her cranial trauma doesn't match to the interior vehicle photos. I can't wait for him to explain that to a jury of 12 people. I can't wait. I want to hear it myself. I don't know how, without looking at the car, without looking at her cranial trauma. He didn't even feel it was important enough to go to the morgue and watch the autopsy. I'm looking at a picture of her skull, and I'm looking at a picture of that car. Nope, this don't match up. I have a feeling other experts are going to say differently, Doc.
Good point. Okay.
Documentation reflects a single entrance wound. Dr. Reveal says that documentation reflects a single entrance wound. Documentation. See, he's read. Dr. Reveal has read the same autopsy report that Sheila and I have read. He's read the autopsy report because it says documentation
Mm-hmm.
reflects a single entrance wound. Wouldn't it be nice if it said, I observed during the autopsy of Pauline Pusser, 33-year-old, 51 pound corpse, mow and green mow and stuff all over and been disturbed from her grave.
Yeah.
I observed a single entrance wound, but he says documentation reflects. Apparent blood on the hood exists, but 1967 forensics couldn't attribute it. They couldn't tell if it was his or hers or whatever, but he automatically assumes that she was killed outside the car and put in. That's Buford's chin, guys.
Yeah.
Buford got out of that car, took off back around there to check on her. He went back around, got back in, and drove trying to get to wherever he was going. At that time, I think he was after revenge. He knew his wife was dead. He wanted to kill somebody.
He was
Buford wanted to kill somebody.
wanted to make sure that justice.
Mike Elam says, why would he do that for? Why would he drive around? Because that's Buford Pusser. You ever seen that Jackie Gleason movie, Smokey and the Bandit? He says, I'm so-and-so Buford T, whatever he names, old Jackie Gleason does.
Ever raise your voice to me? Do you know who you're talking to? I happen to be Buford T. Justice.
Because that's Buford Pusser. That would be the way Buford, that's what you would expect out of a man that you just made a movie a few years later in 1973 on the way he was.
They could go bear hunting with a switch.
Yeah.
So
A single entrance wound, guys. You know what? I'm sorry to drag this out. I just want to read you a couple of things on that autopsy, though, but it says multiple. A defect is likely secondary to the gunshot wound. The trajectory in this shot is unclear. Now, up here it says trajectory in this shot is back to front. That's what he's referring to. That shot back to front. But down here it says trajectory for this shot is unclear. So that means there was at least two shots, guys. It goes in here and it says could have been multiple wounds. Some of them could have been entrance and exit.
exits. Yeah.
Other directional components not excluded. They could have been other directional.
And at least one high velocity.
This is Dr. Reveal. Dr. Reveal, a Tennessee resident. He lives there in Tennessee. He took down Tennessee's hero. Now, see, I don't care about that. Sheila and I don't, because we're not here because of Buford Pusser was a hero or because he had fans. We got involved in this case because from the day we watched that press conference and seen Mike Elam in the back, and we seen the horse poop that was being thrown out them microphones up top for me, I knew they were lying. I could tell they were not being honest. And especially when they started diverting the reporter's questions. I see the report. Does the gun match to the autopsy? See the report. It's a yes or no question.
I wonder if Mr. Plunk was there.
Dennis Hathcock was. I saw him the other night.
There was
Dennis
a picture of
Hathcock.
both of them standing there. Yeah. Interesting.
Oh, the TBI has been cause of death, cranial trauma, secondary to ballistic injury, manner, homicide. Who would have thought it, guys? Who would have thought they dug this poor old woman up out of her ground and took her in for an autopsy? They figured out she's 33 years old. She's dead. It was a homicide. Somebody killed her, and she was killed with a gun. Oh, wait now. Don't worry about none of that. That's little stuff. She had a fractured nose at some time in her life, and that Buford Pusser must have done it. That big old 6'6", 300-pound brute, all he could do was break her nose. Didn't break a tooth. Didn't break her jawbone. Didn't break her eye socket.
Arm.
Yeah. Cause of death, trauma, secondary ballistic, manner of death, homicide, but the mechanism likely differs from the official narrative. Photos. One doctor sees a real live, sees the person live and sees a photo and wonder, did he see? We wonder. I wonder. This ain't Sheila. This is me because this has been facetious. Did Dr. Ravel see any orbs when he was looking at them photos? You know how people takes pictures and they catch little dots and stuff, dust, polka dots floating around?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he's seen any orbs in those photographs. But I'm getting to the good question here in a minute. Just curious as to this, as is also things that you can see. You can see those. People see orbs, whether you believe in ghosts or not. We believe in the Holy Ghost. That's all the
Right,
ghosts
right.
we believe in. But people see orbs in photographs and they think that's a ghost or a spirit. Okay, let's give Dr. Reveal his expert. He's an expert. He's ruled an expert in his medical field as a medical doctor and as a medical examiner. They say,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen nothing, but how about his expertise in photography? What kind of degrees, what kind of certificates, what kind of classes, what kinds of programs has he attended prior to now? I'm sure that he'll be in the next class for a photography class because he needs to add that to his resume. If he's not, I could be wrong. He may say, yeah, here's from the Institute of Kodak. Here's from the Institute of wherever. I'm certified photograph. I've had all kinds of classes in photography. Okay. If he has, that's great. That gives him a plus.
Mm-hmm.
But we have a feeling under oath when asked this question, what on this date, when you filled this report out, when you made this opinion, when you opined that she had been shot outside the car and moved in, when you opined that the cranial damage didn't match the interior of the car, when you opined, what experience had you received? What certifications, what qualifications did you have that said you was an expert in photography, that qualified you to look at a picture and determine that it's time to destroy this man's reputation? I'm so good at looking at a photograph. Yep, I can look at this and tell that this man killed his wife, and I'm going to destroy his reputation forevermore. They're going to get to it. A good lawyer wants to know his expertise and experience and education in photography, not from this day forward, but from the day he signed that report and put his opinion on there. Nothing more than his opinion, which he's allowed to have. If they want to pay him big money for his opinion, that's great. Guys, we don't convict people of murder on opinions. We don't destroy people's reputations and their livelihood on opinions. If that's the way we do it, then those two clowns up there in those suits that's alleging all this stuff on Buford Pusser, it's as fair for me to tell them that than it is for them to tell people that Buford Pusser, a dead man, they can't take up for himself. At least these two can defend themselves. They can say, we're not clowns. We're not really clowns. Or is it just a magical image? Is it residue? Maybe they can explain this.
Yeah,
There's
that's a good
going
question.
to be so many good questions when this report is done. So many good attorneys and so many good people is going to make notes. And when this case is presented to a jury of 12 to confirm, do I need this powder in order to confirm or back up my narrative or the narrative that somebody may want? I'm speculating. I'm using Fred's opinion. I'll have a disclaimer at the end, but do what you have to do, guys. Do what you have to do, because we need to get this in depositions. We need to get this in the court. I don't really care if it's through Fred McCoy. If y'all want to make Fred McCoy famous, along with you, Dr. Revelle, or Mr. Davison, Mr. Roush, everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame. Me, I've had enough 15 minutes of fame in my life to do me a lifetime. I've had 15 minutes of fame over and over and over and over. I've never had to get it from a dead man's reputation. I've never had to get it from a dead man's reputation. I hope I never have to get it from that. Or if I do get it, if I get 15 minutes from fame from being sued, then I'll get it from taking up for a dead man. We will. We
Yeah.
will get it.
Yeah.
We will get it from taking up for a dead man. If the good Lord holds that against us, then we're guilty because we're taking up for a man that can't take up for himself, a woman that can't take up for herself, and she can't take up for her husband.
Mm-hmm.
She can't take up for her daughter. Her daughter can't take up for her mom and dad no more.
Right.
And since she passed away or was done away with, book writers and people have gone crazy on doing anything they want to that family and their family name. Sure wouldn't do this, but probably experts that would. I'm sure that Mr. Reveal wouldn't do any of that, but I bet there's some experts out there that would in order to get their refund. If you're not satisfied, we'll give you a full refund. That's not my ad. Need to find some sort of questionable evidence to differ with Dr. Pillar. He had to find something. They had to find something that differed with Dr. Pillar's. Dr. Pillar's an old medical doctor, medical examiner, years and years of experience. We've got to find something that differs because he didn't charge Buford with murder. What do you have on, Estelada or Charlie or what?
Charlie.
Boy, you smell good. You do. I've smelled it a couple of times now, and I'm thinking, dang, my wife smells good, but
Oh, thank you, babe.
you do. But need to find some sort of questionable evidence to differ with Dr. Pillar. Cranial does not match the interior of the vehicle. Hey, I know what I'll use. That cranial. That damage I saw in that one picture. Where's that picture at with the side of her head gone? And cranial don't match. It does to me. If you're shooting somebody from the left side of a vehicle driving by, that's right where you're going to hit them.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the back, plus the bullets going through and through. I'm not even a medical examiner, guys. But this man could have walked down the road, walked down the street, and seen the autopsy, but he looked at the picture. When did Dr. Reveal examine the vehicle to know that it doesn't correspond with the interior? That's right. The vehicle's been gone for 58 years. Probably looks at the photos. Dr. Pillar looked at the car. Remember how eyeballers, you ever work an accident? You're out there you can't get people. You write tickets for people flying down the road. You give them tickets because you're going too fast. Oh, I'm not going nowhere. I'm just going home. But boy, you have an accident, have a sheet over here on the side covering her body up, and here they come, and you're trying to get people through so you can get an ambulance to another one or get a wrecker in there. You're trying, come on.
Let's see what's going on.
What? Anybody get hurt? Anybody get hurt? You'll see sheets laying out there covering up bodies. A white sheet. Roll that window down. Anybody get hurt? Get out of here. I'm sorry. That's the truth, though. So my point is, just like Sheila said, rubberneckers, eyeballers, human nature. Don't think Dr. Pillar didn't go look at that car.
That's
gunpowder on her chin. Sorry, guys. Not a ME, not a pathologist, not even very smart. I believe there's going to be a lot of people on a jury one day, maybe several juries, who knows, that feels the same way. Single entrance room, see autopsy. Guys, they thought, in my opinion, no one would ever question any of this. They thought the TBI director would stand up there. They thought the prosecutor, Mark Davison, would stand up there. They thought they would say they had expert witnesses, opines, expert witnesses with opinions.
the one worked for TBI.
Yeah. Eric
Warren.
Eric Warren worked for TBI. They thought nobody would ever question them. They thought it was cut and dried. Till the day that I die, Now Sheila, she may move on. She likes other videos, and she likes to, and her followers likes to follow things that we do, and everybody's not into the Buford Pusser case. But this is going to be a case that I'm going to stick with till it's cleared up. It's never going to be clear. They're always going to have their names associated with Buford. They've still stole his glory. They were home free until, lo and behold, people saw deceit, just as we saw in Elam and Oakley's stories. I didn't know none of these guys. I wasn't up on.
I'd never heard of
We
it.
wasn't up on Buford Pusser. We wasn't up on. Never heard of Oakley and Elam. Never heard of them. But for some reason, I was on YouTube that day and hear that come up, and here's a press conference. And when I see these guys come out there and I see them interviewing Elam in the back, didn't know him then. He says, "Yeah, I don't know what they're going to say." And I've done this for 40 years. And I'm thinking, who is this? What's going on here? And I sat back down in the chair and I thought, I'm going to watch this. What in the world? Not that I cared about Buford Pusser. I don't care. If he killed his wife, he killed his wife. If he didn't, he didn't. But if he did, let's make sure he's guilty. And as I sat there and watched that, and then I saw them start handing off questions, and I saw them redirecting. I'm sure, I know I'm not the only one. We've been contacted. Family reunion photos.
Sorry.
You're okay, baby. I'm sorry.
Went down the wrong way.
I know it, no doubt. Family reunion. I shouldn't throw them at you like that. I got to give you a warning. Family reunion photos. Oakley Dean Baldwin says he is related to Pauline Pusser. He's justice for Pauline, his cousin, second cousin, ninth cousin. I don't know.
I think he's second.
You think he says he says
I
he's.
think that's what I
I'm kin.
saw. Yeah.
Did you know that I was kin to President Kennedy?
No.
Yeah, John F. Kennedy, related.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, do you believe that? Well, you're believing Mike Elam, or you're believing Oakley. Oakley says he's related to Pauline. Is he? We don't know. We've never seen no proof.
No bloodline. No
I've not seen nothing on his Facebook page with a
lineage.
birth certificate and or a genealogy where it says, here's my mom and dad, here's her mom and dad, here's this, here's that. Yeah, I've never seen that. Go look at Hatfield McCoy genealogy. Hatfields and McCoys. Go take a DNA or spit in the bottle. DNA, prove who you're related to.
Thanks for watching. We hope you are doing well. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you on the next one. God bless. Bye.